Well guys, it's really feeling like fall. Let's get a few sprinkles, not as much as they were calling for yesterday, but we're going to get a little rain and a little more sun. And the thymol strips I put in, a little report on it, nothing official, but I saw some good results on the chalk brood in the colonies that didn't have it that bad. The ones that had it more severe, it didn't seem to do much for them. I'm not sure that it did a lot for the ones with heavy varroa. Might have taken some out, but it didn't do the job. So my guess is it's my application method of it. I actually ordered some Apiguard to bring it in so I can see what it really is, and try some of that to see if it'll help some of the harder chalk brood. But at this point in the game, I'm going to have to just combine a bunch of those really bad ones and kill the chalk broody queens and try to get them strong enough. I don't have a lot of time to get some of this fixed. So, but I am hitting them with oxalic vapor right now, waiting for the thymol to come in, because there are a few colonies that were in pretty rough shape. I want to show you my new Speedy vape. I just ordered in a second one from Brian Jackson, a friend of mine down in Eugene, about an hour and a half from me, that makes these. And he's doing a great job. Here's my original that I got from him, and he's upgraded these a little bit, a little stronger handle on them, and he's got the name on the sides of them, and they're looking pretty nice. And I'll tell you, this really sped up the process, because the way I'm doing mine, I've got holes drilled right here in the back end, so I'm out of the pathway, right? I blocked the front, but I got bees here in a holding pattern trying to get in, and if you're sitting right there in front of it, it just makes a mess. Over here on the side, it works great, and I can hit 2 at a time. Now, they're saying that we need to be putting 3 to 4 grams of oxalic acid per deep, so I've got 2 deeps here. These caps will hold 3 grams, that's all. That one's still warm. And so what I was doing was filling a cap, putting it on there, letting it do its thing, filling another cap, putting it on there, letting it do its thing, and that takes a lot of time. It cools it down while it starts to sublimate, and then it has to warm it back up. When it hits 450 degrees, I'll pull it or put another capful in. Now, when I drop it in these caps, sometimes it hangs up in there and doesn't come down, and you got to beat on it with your hive tool to get it to drop. And if you don't see the temperature dropping, that indicates that the oxalic hasn't dropped down into the heating pot yet. And then when it did, it would drop down to about 325, 330, sublimate, and then it would start to increase again. And like I said, when it hit 450, I would put another bowl in or do it again. So I came up with another method trying to speed this up. Brian was concerned when I talked to him about it a while ago, putting too much in, that it would cool it and it wouldn't be sublimating correctly. I took this irrigation syringe and I packed 8 grams in it tight, and I got my mark right there. So what I was doing is I would just pack it down into the bucket like that, and now it's tight and it's stacked in there. And then I would come along here and I would stick each of my machines in, and they're hot, they come from the last one, right? So they're ready. Pop the cap off, and all I had to do was give a push on this, and that would drop right out into the bowl. And so before it actually, you have much vapor coming out of there, bam, the cap goes on, and I let it set. Now, my temperatures were coming down to about 300, so 25 or so degrees less than it was. But I believe that the oxalic starts to sublimate below 200, so it wasn't dropping it down too far, and it was, then slowly coming back up. And I've got some that are in singles, so they were getting a half dosage, and the machine was running through the process in almost exactly the same amount of time. So by the time that this one that did a double was back up to 450, this one in the single was about hitting 450. So that really spread the process up. Hopefully I don't figure out that that isn't working very well, but it seemed to be. One of the things that I think is helping is that it's packed. It's not going in loose where it fills the bowl more and it wants to start spitting it right out of the tube. And Brian has these with the tubes coming out pretty high. So when I drop that big chunk in there, it starts to work on it and it doesn't cool it too much. If it was loose, I think it would probably drop the temperature further because it would hit more of the walls and things. So anyway, it really sped the process up in doing this. About as fast as I could hustle along and you know, move my plugs. I'd go back and unplug some and come forward and plug some more hives and run back and do it. So anyhow, but if you're in the market for one of these vape machines, I got this one from Brian with a dozen extra caps shipped to me for $265. So I believe his price on the machine is $205. If you guys out there selling a little cheaper, a lot of guys selling them for a lot more. And it seems like a quality machine he's making. And again, he's a little shop. You got problems with him, he'll get right in touch with you. Take care of it. I've got my older one that some of the wires are starting to get a little frayed up and stuff, and he's going to send me stuff to get it fixed, and we're going to get it taken care of. So anyway, just wanted to give you an update on Varroa control at Sleepy Creek Apiary.